Hi, my name is Ella, and this is my midterm take-home test. Question 1. External environmental forces are outside influences that may affect a sport organization's marketing decisions and success. For example, the Niagara region has several local sporting teams, such as the Niagara River Lions, the Niagara Ice Dogs, and on a smaller scale, the Port Colborne Sailors. One external environment that may affect the local sporting teams is the economy. The economy can fluctuate over time, which can create influence on where fans want to spend their money. Another example is geographical influence. Many people do not appreciate having to drive at 7 or 8 o'clock at night to go see a sporting game. So, for example, if you live in St. Catharines and you want to go to a Port Colborne game, it may take you 20 to 30 minutes. Finally, demographic factors can be in effect. The Niagara region is a very common university town, with Brock University and Niagara College encouraging many people to come. With that, sporting teams like the Niagara Ice Dogs need to adapt and analyze their environment and demographic often. Question 2. There are 3 main types of a fan identification: low, medium, and high. Low identifications are fans that go to sporting games for the social aspect of it. These fans enjoy the atmosphere, promotions, and even events that happen during the game. Then there are medium identification fans, also known as focus fans. These fans focus on one player or team performing very well. However, if the player or team perform poorly, the fan is less likely to continue watching or engaging with the sport. Lastly, there are high identification fans. These fans are hardcore fans and have a strong emotional connection to the team or players. They are the most likely to return to games and have been a fan for many years. There are many examples of ways sport organizations have attempted to increase fandom. For example, the NFL has their international series, where they travel to different countries around the world to engage with fans that do not normally have American football. Question 3. Sports differ from movies, plays, theaters, and more in many different ways. One example is the unpredictability of it. No matter the sport or team has been winning recently, there's always a chance for anything to happen, unlike movies or plays where there's a script or a storyline. Furthermore, sports have real-world consequences, like championships, player careers, and team legacies are all on the line when it comes to sports. Any moment, a player could make a name for themselves and their career for an injury, or start an everlasting legacy for a team. In comparison to movies, plays, theaters, and more, each of those events happen one time and never again, besides maybe a sequel. However, sport is almost never ending. It comes back every year and brings new excitement with it each time. Another example is how sports have major rivalries. For example, Toronto Maple Leafs and Montreal Canadiens. They've always had a rivalry together. There are no rivalries when it comes to the theater. Each play is unique and different. There's no competition between them, maybe besides for a Tony at an award show or something along those lines. Fans are actively engaged with the sport. Unlike concerts or theaters, where an audience is just an observer, sports fans are cheering, chanting, booing, and influencing the moment. They can bring a player up or take them down. Lastly, the physical demand and risks are unlike any other entertainment. Although many performers are actively performing, athletes are often put in extremely risky situations, face fatigue, and injuries all the time. Question 4. The SWOT analysis is an acronym that stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It is a planning tool to help evaluate the organization's current position and plans for future strategies. For the Toronto Blue Jays, their weaknesses involve inconsistencies and limited playoff success in the past. Their strengths include their strong national fan base. Go Canadians. Opportunities include increased media exposure and growing baseball within Canada. Lastly, their threats are their competition and potential injuries that could happen to players. Question 5. There are many things that make sport unique in comparison to other industries. One example is how sport is unpredictable, as said before, and creates excitement and emotional engagement for fans. Fans find an identity within the sport and make it personal as they connect with a team or athlete. Another example is how many people have grown up in sport, which builds long-term nostalgia with the sport or the team, as well as long-term fans of teams. I, for one, grew up a Toronto Maple Leafs fan because my dad told me to. Furthermore, sports bring a sense of community like no other. You may not know the person sitting with you at the game, however, because you were both cheering for the same team, you are now like a family. This happens on and off the field with teammates and coaches, but also fans. Sport is is also unique in the sense that it is an intangible product. It is not a car you can buy, it's an experience. Consumers can't take it home or control it, but they buy moments and memories from it. Sport is also unique in the sense that it can create social impact. It has the power to influence many consumers and promote change across the world just by a simple statement from a player or a team. Question 6. In the past, the pink it and drink it method was very common. Personally, I even had a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey that was pink when I was a little girl, but that was really the only thing that was out there for us. However, sport has definitely taken the steps needed to move forward, as they now try to emphasize authentic representation and engagement. Teams now offer many merchandise for women, including them in marketing campaigns, and even now have their own professional leagues, such as the PWHL and the WNBA. Just the other day, I saw the new Lululemon line for Team Canada, and it had both male and female athletes in it, which was unheard of back in the day. However, there's still room for improvement. Teams can increase media coverage for the sporting organizations, funding, and even expand their merch lines for women and girls even more than they have already. Question 7. The first segmentation is demographic. This divides consumers based on characteristics such as age, gender, or even ethnicity. One example is how the WNBA and PWHL mainly target their female audience over their male audience. Next is geographic segmentation, which targets consumers by locations such as region, city, or country. An example of this is the way Team Canada markets themselves for the Olympics. Oftentimes, they mainly target Canadians when marketing, as that is the country the people live in and the country they're representing. Then there's socioeconomic segmentation, which targets consumers based on their income, education, occupation. An example of this would be when sports teams like the Lakers target mainly celebrities to sit courtside at their games, as the tickets are extremely expensive. Behavioral segmentation is the next one, which is where they target their audience based on the frequency of purchase, size of purchase, and loyalty of consumers. An example of this is a sport team like the Toronto Raptors using a loyalty program and season ticket benefits. Another segmentation is psychographic segmentation, which is based on lifestyle, personality, activities, interests, and opinions. An example of this is when the Blue Jays hosted Barbie Night. It would have only been exciting and interesting to people with the interest of Barbie or young girls. Lastly, there's benefit segmentation, which focuses on consumer needs and sport product feature desired. An example of this is when an athlete puts out a shoe or a skate that is designed to improve a consumer's performance to be like the professionals. Everyone wants LeBron's shoe to play basketball in. Question 8. Diversion is a common part of sport as it offers viewers and fans to escape from their everyday routines and stresses happening at home. So, fan attendance is being impacted by the diversion from everyday life because when teams like the Raptors are promising giveaways, in-game activations, and even events outside of the arena, it creates excitement and a time to socialize and create moments with friends and family. The Toronto Raptors are using it by adding special game day events like their Jurassic Park, outside arena, and more recently media campaigns. One memorable media campaign was their cartoon drawing of the Raptors logo that they created merchandise for and had as an ongoing joke on their social media platforms. Question 9. My favorite part of the class so far is Professor Scott. The amount of passion he has for teaching can be seen, and it makes the class more engaging to listen to. As I've thoroughly enjoyed this class, there are not many poor things about it. However, if I had to say one thing, it'd be for more communication on assignments in class lecture. Thank you for listening.